You would always want to be on the side of having good credit.
Do you think it pays to have good credit? And look, when I was in car sales run, I was trained to tell people that asked me, "Hey, what is the monthly payment for this vehicle?" Or they're trying to negotiate monthly payments. But then the biggest thing that I found when people were coming to the dealership is a lot of people who were financing vehicles, they're always trying to negotiate the sales price of a vehicle. So for example, if someone's coming in, they don't have the amount of money to pay cash for a vehicle. I was trained by our sales manager to where if a customer that is financing is trying to negotiate the sales price and the total out the door number, you're supposed to swing them away from that and
Mhm.
negotiate monthly payments. Talk about
Yes.
down payments. And we were trained. I didn't, but I didn't really agree with this stuff, Ryan. This is just what they trained us to do. And this is one of the reasons why I kind of disagree with the traditional sales methods that was used back in the day. But at the end of the day, Ron, these people are the ones that's taking care of this vehicle. These people are the ones who's paying for this vehicle. Once they leave the dealership with their new car, their new truck, Run, it is their money. It is their out the door total amount. It is the
Yes.
balance that the consumer actually has to pay. So I don't agree with going back and telling people, hey, if you're financing, don't even talk about the sales price because you're not buying the sales price. You're buying the monthly payment. And that
Mhm.
was somewhat rude and somewhat misleading. Why are you telling people that they should not be worried about the total out the door number if they quote unquote can't afford it, right? Because
Yeah.
they're clearly having to finance it. And here's the thing, people who actually have the money to finance some of these, I mean, to purchase some of these vehicles cash run, believe it or not, they may be financing it for business purposes, tax purposes, whatever the case be. And if you know about this with new car financing, there's certain rebates that you get if you finance through the manufacturer. So with GM Financial specifically, I think they give, depending on which month of the year it is, they give like a rebate just if you finance through GM Financial. There's even 0% financing options to where people may just use their credit to purchase a vehicle and then use the cash that they could have paid cash for the vehicle for. They can use that cash to reinvest back into their business and grow their business and make more money on their business than they would have made by saving on the vehicle itself. So, what is your opinion on that by telling people that they should not worry about the sales price if they're financing a vehicle?
Yeah, no, I'm Chris. I'm really glad you brought that up because I mean that's definitely a sales tactic, no matter the industry, right? And it's the focus was to steer them off of this question because you're selling the benefit, right? What
Yeah.
can you afford? Certainly what you experience in the car industry. Mortgage industry has its own way, right? Like we don't sell rate. Everybody sees the rates on TVs, calls in, talks to a loan officer like myself and says, this is where I want to be at a rate. Well, hold on, let me take your head and kind of smoke and mirrors, have you look over here because now I want to get you stuck on the benefit, right? You're
Mhm.
focused on rate and financing costs and APR over the life of this thing, but we consolidated X, Y, and Z. So while your rate's going up a full point, your monthly expenditures with our consolidation, I'm saving you $400 a month, right? So there's always that like I said, best way to probably put it is it's a game of smoke and mirrors where
Mhm.
it's hey, the consumer asks a question that's important to them, and we say, but look over here. I'm with you wholeheartedly on this topic. I never liked the smoke and mirrors. In fact, I always told people flat out the gate, there will be no smoke and mirrors games. What's important to you now, obviously, everybody's situation is unique, right? So everybody's going to have certain goals where they want to be. If what they're focused on is out the door price, then that's fine. So be it. Like you said, it's their money, but it doesn't still hurt to have that bar top conversation to find out as to why, as opposed to getting them to look the other way completely and focus on something else. dig deeper. I mean, as a salesperson, if you're good at what you do and you can have a cordial conversation with somebody, why is the outdoor price, important to them? Is it because of their financing rate? They're concerned about what they're paying over the life of the loan. Are there tips and tricks that we can help them to still be in control of those costs, whether it be by paying a little extra on principal, getting yourself into what you're controlling as a financing rate at that point in time, so your effective rate, if you will. So I think it's really important if somebody's coming to you, and I've always lived by the adage of people buy from who they like. Don't dismiss what's important to somebody. Try to understand why. Is there more of an education that can genuinely happen? Or is there, just you have to do your job as an advocate of that customer to make sure that they leave the dealership feeling like they checked one box, right? That they accomplished what was their goal. Who are we to tell them what should be important to them? But, there might be more educational opportunities. And, if you're a true professional and you understand the finance game, maybe they're misconstrued about something. Maybe there can be a genuine, knowledge and education that's provided on behalf of their salesperson or their finance person, because it's okay to be wrong too. Not everybody's an expert in this, but never dismiss what's important to them and make them feel like, they have a right to accomplish what they're setting out to. It doesn't always mean it's going to be realistic, but it doesn't mean that you have to be facetious about the process.
Absolutely. Do you think bad credit is just as bad as no credit?
It depends on the opportunity. I hear that a lot, right? In all the years is, well, I have no credit, so that's just like having bad credit.
Yeah.
I personally never really viewed it that way, Chris. I personally viewed it as you have a clean palate, just like when we, turned 18 years old and we entered the world and opportunities kind of came flying at us, whether it was the first store charge card we all mistakenly got or whatever it was, whatever impulse buy. And we, kind of learned the hard way. I think, with no credit, again, it depends on the situation. If you have zero credit and you change your job every 3 months and you're moving every 6 months, there's definitely factors that it can be just like having bad credit.
Okay.
But even bad credit, right, is repairable. I mean, there's things that can be done. There's details in a blueprint that can be put together for a client to hold themselves accountable, commit to themselves, and make the changes necessary. But I always viewed no credit as, if your intangibles are in line, if you have a decent job time, if your income is solid, if your living history is solid, there's plenty of banks out there that are willing to take a flyer because of the intangibles, particularly on the credit union side of things. I've gotten numerous, more than I could remember, people that, we called them credit ghosts, right? Somebody that just had a true blank, didn't generate a score, never financed anything, but they'd been at their job 5 years and, lived at the same house since they were born. And the credit unions are going to have a little more of a human touch, I think, in those moments. And we've gotten them, for great first-time, buyer programs with reasonable interest rates so that they can kind of start to establish their credit. So I think the intangibles matters to truly answer that question. As a whole, I don't view it as bad credit. But it depends on the narrative.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode. If you wish to be a guest on our podcast, visit StirgusCreditRepair.com and click the podcast page to schedule an episode. If you need help with your credit, you can also sign up at StirgusCreditRepair.com and start your free trial today. Stirgus Credit Repair. Stirgus Credit Repair. If you want a new house, call us. If you need a new car.